Welcome to one more podcast for Success and Connection. I'm here with Luke and Justin from PropertyGRID. So, guys, tell me all about it because it seems like so exciting what you have going on.
Yeah, thanks. So, again, Luke Nelson with PropertyGRID, and we're a prop tech company with blockchain, and so we've been in stealth for about 3.5 years now, right? So we've been building a whole new real estate ecosystem, which we're bringing to market now. And so, again, I met you several months ago in other masterminds, but we're now coming out to the market. And so what PropertyGRID is I guess the best way to think about it is Amazon, taking Amazon and they have stores. Right, we're making real estate stores with almost grids. So, for example, water grid, food grid, energy grid, right? And these are all dedicated environments where people come and invest in their asset class.
Got it.
We also have grids that are markets. So countries, so like El Salvador, we're doing a lot in Latin America, Honduras, Jamaica, a lot of countries, Dominican Republic, a lot of different markets over there. But now we're coming to the States.
Okay.
And so a market can be a country, it can also be a state. But just think of an environment where we bring in the leaders in those markets. So deal makers, deal takers, property owners, we make it super simple for people to transact online with real estate. And so if you don't know what blockchain is, right? Blockchain is really where the industry is going. It's Web3 technology. It's what crypto is based off of. It's a ledger system, okay, right? And so we're building a marketplace that allow people with an option to leverage this new technology and adds a lot of benefits. And so, yeah, we're excited to really kick it off as we come to the U.S.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's a little bit over cattle of all the people.
Yeah.
So who are you moving to attract for this PropertyGRID?
Yeah, so for the last several years, we've been focused mostly on developers as we've been in stealth, getting case studies, doing proof cases. And so developers, they do a lot of inventory. So for, as you said, it's very technical or it seems technical. Yeah. And so if I could have a conversation with the developer, right, we have a lot of inventory. And so about 2 years ago, we started working with developers in Latin America. Our network led us to this big group, and they asked us to tokenize 150,000 properties. And so it's great, but we got a big problem to solve, right? So how are we going to do that? And so we've really been building an ecosystem over the last couple of years to do so. But overall, I'll explain what tokenization is. So let's just say there's a property, 123 Main Street. It's owned by Mr. and Mrs. Smith, okay, right? And that property is worth $1 million, let's say. What we do when we go to tokenize a property, and I'll go through the benefits so shortly, but we turn it into a corporation. So it's owned by 123 Main Street, okay, LLC. As a corporation. It's a corporation, okay, right? And there's an operating agreement, right? So if you have a business, you can have an operating agreement. And so the operating agreement is called a smart contract. Okay. Right. So a smart contract is really, it's our operating agreement. So what's the rules? What are we doing? Right. Yeah. On top of that, who are the owners? Who are the partners? Yeah. Right. And so we can have as many owners as we want. So we have tokens that you can own, which is the amount of ownership you have for that property. Right. So let's take 123 Main Street. Let's say it's worth $1 million. We could turn that property into 1 million tokens. Right. So it's now $1 a token. So a central example, it's basically turning into a stock. So we're unlocking the liquidity in that asset, right? And people can leverage those tokens, right? So there's equity in the property. So say that a house is free and clear, that user will go because real estate has, at the end of the day, it has value, right? Yeah. Versus cryptocurrency, which it's not really hedged by anything, it's volatile, right? So what tokenization is, it's allowing people to turn their physical assets, in case of real estate in this case, into something they can leverage.
Okay. So when you talk about leverage, maybe Justin can answer that question. I heard before about if somebody needs to fix up their house, for example, right? They are the owners and they tokenize and they need $200,000 to renovate the property. How does that work?
Yeah, that's the original way that I've been with the company a little over a year now. But the original way that made sense to me was exactly that. So I've got a property. I'll make up a story about my property. Actually, I can tell the truth. It's worth $1.2 million, right? Bought it for $715,000. I have about $700,000 in equity in that property right now. If I want to put a second story on, another bedroom and a bath, I could put my property on the blockchain, tokenize that, and sell, let's say, $200,000 worth of tokens to do that whole project, right? So that's paid for. And I'm not going to a bank. I'm not taking a HELOC and absorbing all that interest there. But the other side, who I've put it out there to buy it, the property's just gone up 15% in a year, correct? So they bought originally at $1 a token. Well, now it's worth $1.15 a token. They can immediately sell that because my addition to that property raised the property value 15%. So they can make 15% in 6 months, a year. I can even write the contract myself to say, hey, I have the right to buy back all your shares on a smart contract in 1 year at 15%. So they can look at that and say, this is it's locked into property, it's safe. I'm guaranteed 15%. He doesn't have to buy it back. But at that year mark, I can't sell before that, but at the year mark, maybe I believe this property is going to, increase in value over the next 3-4 years. I don't want to take that money out, pay tax. I'll just leave it in. So there's so much opportunity there. It's extremely liquid, and it's tied to a physical asset or real world asset, unlike stocks or cryptocurrency, which we know can fluctuate. And in cryptocurrency gives blockchain a bad name in some ways, especially at a certain point, because it's so volatile, right? But what you need to know about blockchain is that as volatile as cryptocurrency is, the reason why it's so popular is because all the rules are written on the blockchain there and can never be changed. Unlike a bank, unlike a country who can print money, it's a safe place. It's the safest place for transparency, how everything works there. So that's how I originally. Luke can talk deeper into every asset, and because my understanding first was just, hey, a single property. But now, if you're a contractor, right, and you just purchase a property,
Okay.
maybe you have 10 different properties you've done in the last 10 years. You have a back record of all the profits you've made. You just purchased this property. You can show that these are all the things I've done. Do you want to invest in this property now? I have a track record of making 75% over 4 years. Are you going to do that? So we can start to leverage your history, everything, through storytelling and marketing, which he's the wizard at, of telling your story. So you come to us, we not only, can put you on the blockchain, fractionally sell, but we can tell your story too. It's pretty amazing.
So you said like $200,000 to fix up the property, but you are selling some of your shares. So why not borrow from the bank and renovate the property so that you don't have to give back your shares?
Would you rather borrow from the bank or be the bank?
So yeah, explain that to me.
You become the bank.
Yeah. So we're making as a property owner, you dictate the terms. So we're here at Owners Club, right?
Yeah.
So we have like Gators, Sub2 members, right? A lot of private money lenders. Really, there's a whole network here that'll be happy to give you that loan for $200,000 because maybe, 6 months from now you'll pay it back, with whatever return. So at the end of the day, it's not empowering a property owner or an investor, right? Because that's who you're here with, to really have flexibility in the asset and leverage it like it's never been done before. And so it adds a whole other level of creativity that you can do with it. And at the end of the day, if the deal's not good, right, you put it out there. We have a marketplace that'll be launched in the U.S. soon. The investor's not going to invest in each, right? But we empower the property owner to do so. The other side, too, is just probably the biggest reason for blockchain is security and trust, right? So if we didn't do anything else, right, deed theft is an issue, right, in the country, right? So issues with people illegally transferring deeds. At its basis, by putting your house on blockchain, you can't ever say eliminate, but it dramatically reduces the ability to steal a deed. Because what we're doing is we're taking the physical deed, and we're tying it to a digital version. It's called a digital twin, right? And it's basically say it referred to this digital contract who the owner is. And blockchain records who the owners are with timestamps, right? So you see, but it's recording everything. It can't be tampered with. And so say, Justin came in with my property and, you know what he was doing. He took my deed. I didn't even know anything about it as a property owner. Like, somebody told me, what's going on here? I can actually refer to that and get the physical deed back
Within minutes instead of going to court and fighting and
And so from that standpoint, outside of that, the way our platform works, it's about we reward deal makers. So whether a property owner, we have finance, wholesale, people that are putting inventory onto the platform, right? We reward them for being more transparent, verifying. And so when somebody registers their property on Grid, we basically built a user interface for the property. And so you can double click into there, and we make it real simple to go put on the market if you wanted to sell or leverage it.
Okay.
But as you go to do that, it'll ask at the end, hey, do you want to verify? Right? We have different levels of services. That's one of our ways we monetize is we add verification. So multiple levels. And as you add verification, it increases the verification score on that opportunity. Right? So as an investor sees it, it has a score. And so we verified, for example, the users that come on platform, right? So if you're a wholesaler or an agent or, anyone that's a deal maker, right? We do know your customer. So KYC, AML. So that gives you a base verification, right? So all the things we do. So who am I doing business with, right? If it's, so we want to reward the individuals that want to add upfront more proof, more verification. And from there, that's one of our ranking features in the platform. So we're promoting deals that are the most verified. So investors have confidence, buyers have confidence, in the opportunity.
But just to register, like, how simple is it? How much does it cost?
It's free.
Yeah. Everyone should be doing that.
No.
Every single person should be registering.
So yeah, I asked you about fractional
Yeah.
and tokenized, right?
Yeah.
So let me give an example. So let's say I have a portfolio with 10 properties and then worth like $2 million.
Okay.
It's 10 properties,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, and I want to turn these properties into co-living.
Okay.
Can I come in and borrow, let's say I need $200,000 to invert these properties?
Yeah.
How does it work?
So I talked about how you sell your house, right?
Yeah.
And so we call it property opportunity. It's kind of a term that comes over and cover a lot of things. And so a property opportunity may not be just selling it, but it may mean I need to raise capital in my property opportunity. So all the way from a wholesale that may need an EMD loan or need to open up escrow, right? So they could post on platform, hey, I need a loan because I have this deal in place, right? An investor can come in and fund that. So at that base level, or in your case, right, I need so much capital to do the rehab. You as the property owner or the deal maker, if you're creative finance, you would make sure all your due diligence is in place. Okay, where is it going? So you want to make sure you still do all the work, right? Yeah. And when you're done, you post it, and that could be a property opportunity, and you invite into the network, right, investors that will see it, right? So we're here just to basically bridge deal makers with deal takers, and that's what the marketplace would be.
Okay, so that means I bring to the group, right, to the platform. Yeah, so that I need $200,000.
Yep.
This is a portfolio.
Yep.
That means you need security.
Yep.
And I offer some kind of interest, right?
Yep. Whatever you're willing to do. Yep.
It's not free.
But you write the contract and it's got to be great for both sides because there's going to be a ton of competition. But yes, exactly. So you write the terms how you want to.
Okay.
So yeah,
You have to have a taker for those terms.
So as you're structuring it, right, just know it, would an investor take it, right? So as you're structuring the deal, it'll be out there. It's not a good deal. You may not get investment, right? But if you structure it right, good. So
You want to invite those people that you think would take the deal. Great. But also, there's an entire, hundreds of thousands of people that can be flipping and looking through your deal that you don't even know. So bring it to the platform. You bring people, yes. We won't get into grid lines quite yet. That's a new.
Yeah,
but eventually, anyone you invite in, any business they do, you may get a piece of that in the future. I can't say for sure or not, like legal. You kidding me?
On a podcast, yes. Things we can't talk about. Yeah, there's podcasts, right? That post NBA. Yeah, but the biggest thing to remember is, I get asked a lot, is this going to take out agents, right? I don't think so, because this is a whole new world, right? And at the end of the day, a property owner needs a guide, right? So part of the reason why I joined Owners Club, right, Sub2 Gator, is that Pace did a great job bringing in like minds and it taught them how to do this. So at the end of the day, for me, the reason why I'm here is it's easier for me to educate someone on all this, right? Because they're going to get it. They're already doing creative, right? And I believe this will be a tool that Sub2 members will be able to use to have a story to win more business with the seller. We're going to be opening up other ways they can monetize, different ways they can make money. But you could be that guide to structure that property upgrade and work yourself in the deal.
Yeah.
Right? And so we're excited to collaborate because we don't know everything, right? So as Pace would say, it's like, it's all about the community. And so, as we launch these grids, so these stores, right? Like, so a lot of people are in co-living here, right? So these are all category marketplaces that we can launch. Right? But I don't know everything about every type of business. I talked to a guy here that's doing planes, right? He wants to do airport hangars. I don't know about aviation. So we need professionals to come in and we'll basically build out a custom grid, right, for that marketplace. And so we're allowing people to really, and the other thing that's neat about what we're doing, we allow people to own the grid. And so as people come in, they can have ownership in their category. So if I'm in pad splits or, right?
Say the state of Montana, which you can speak.
Yeah. So
like every transaction that goes on in the state of the Montana, the owners of Montana Grid
get revenue
from.
Right. So in El Salvador, we're doing a lot of work down there. Is you can have ownership in these stores, these grid stores, right? And they're all separate companies. And from there, you're an owner in the market you're developing, or your category you're developing. We're all about making a collaborative disruptor, right? And we're here, we're basically building a platform all to give it the leverage, right? And again, you want to do it together, and
So would you give advice, for example, somebody like me that wants to bring the portfolio and want to raise capital, would you give advice, say, hey, don't bother good like 6-8% return because it's not going to work?
Yeah.
So this is the strict spot. So we give this kind of guidance.
We have internal teams, strategy teams. So for a property owner or somebody's creative, we have a full team or teams that'll come in and you can do a strategy call and we work through it, right? But obviously that's a scaling problem, right? So that's a big part. Education's going to be a big part. I truly believe to a lot of these individuals, even agents, right? If we can teach them this, we can, hand off, right? And we can empower other people to be their guide, right? And so.
What do you imagine in the example that you gave of the 2 million, 10 properties, 2 million, right?
Yeah.
We could create a marketing strategy for you, counsel you on that, and not only give you those assets to send out to anyone you want by email, but everyone in our community, we can communicate that to who would want to invest in something like this. So the strategy is really important. Yeah, you want to hire, he brought that up.
You want to hire a creative strategist? That's the back end, right? So we'll just connect the property owner to that strategist, right? We're building a community that people can lean on, right? Again, everybody has a dashboard. So again, that's proof, right? And so, for example, like I worked for a lot of agents over the years and helping out in another company I have. And a lot of times an agent will try to take on, say, a luxury listing, right? And have they done one before? Right, because it's a whole other way to sell that asset class. We're actually adding proof to your page, so it's almost like a business card. Yeah. Right, here's my properties I own, here's the transactions. It's a whole dashboard for your own business or your user account. So we're all about making it so that people that want to do a good business and for good, right, they have proof that they can do it and they can use that as a tool to win more business.
Okay. It's very, very interesting. So besides what you do with PropertyGRID, do you invest in real estate as well? Yeah, so that's what it's...
Yeah, so it's kind of a lot of investments. I invest in PropertyGRID myself. That's where both my time and my money have gone into this company. So,
I do a lot of deals. I got a company called Adept Investments, and so I have a lot of deals going on. So for me, I consider myself a founder of PropertyGRID, and so we allow people to come. They can be founders too. So I just happen to be an early on founder. But for me, I looked at the platform. I'm building it for myself. Right, so what could I do to solve problems that I had? And so I originally was going to build a marketplace, right, because I wanted a place to do curated deals, right? And that's what I was about to do before I met my partner Hudson, who's the CEO, kind of brainchild on the blockchain side, right? We came together. I had my superpowers. He had his superpowers. We met in masterminds. Ended up being about 15 of us that connected. We have a parent company called Property DAO, right? So a DAO, if you don't know what it is, DAO, is a decentralized autonomous organization. So that's a new Web3 business class, so like an LLC, right? And so we're developing software and solutions to really simplify the process for property owners. And PropertyGRID is the first company we're kicking out under that. We have several more in the pipeline. So that's our parent company. But really it's out of necessity, building solutions. And I'm a visionary, so I like to change things. And so how can we think outside the box and completely outside the box and I'm gonna create something new, and so it's either
You can get really deep into everything, including the blockchain, but what we're doing here is simplifying everything: contracts, sales, push button, investments.
democratizing investing too. Is like Amazon, right? Like when you hit the buy button, right, and it arrives to your house in a day or two, right? What had to happen for that package to get to your door, right? So at the end of the day, nobody really needs to understand or the meat, like how it's made, right? Just know that we're building technology to make it simple, and we're unlocking things that are empowering a whole new world of investors to come into the pipeline that never had access before, for a lot less. And so
when is gonna be launched?
So we're currently in pre-launch. We've been there for several years for the youth, and we've been invite only. So make sure to reach out. You can request to have access for alpha with the software.
Okay.
But as I mentioned earlier, people can buy into grids. We had somebody officially come and invest in the U.S., and so we have openings there where you can own into grids, and so that has been kicked off. And so now we're gearing up. So it's looking like we're late Q3, early Q4 official launch, but we're in official pre-launch at this event.
And the reason for that is, can we say it together? Compliance. Compliance, we're really looking at the SEC and what their future, because this is a whole new world for the SEC too.
Yeah.
So we're covering every base. We don't want to jump too early because the companies that do that will always get taken out by them. So we're overcompensating for that, which makes me pull my hair out in my position as, the head of sales. But we are in Central America, specifically huge in El Salvador right now, because they're already on the blockchain, basically. Their currency is Bitcoin, one of their two currencies. So they understand this. And the compliance has already been done by their government. So we have huge opportunities. $3.2 billion in...
a little over 3.2 billion in the pipeline on platform, but specifically in El Salvador, I think it's a little over 1.5 or 2 billion. But we're working directly with the government there, and so they're embracing what we're doing, and so
because they understand this.
It's
coming to you too. That was where you're at right now, about 6 months ago.
What's interesting when we go to these markets, right? So in the U.S., we're spoiled here. We have Zillow, LoopNet, Crexi, all these different places you can, discover real estate. And a lot of these Latin American families, they don't have anything. It's like a Wild West, right? So we're coming in and we're basically giving them the country its first world marketplace, right? So agents have a place to post, right? Property owners, right? To actually get attention on the opportunities. But the government sees what we're doing because, they see us as a vehicle to bring growth to the country, right? And then from there, from the Civil War specifically in El Salvador, a way to bring people back. And so we're very organic to how we've been growing. So it's like, where does, for me in a faith base, so it's where's God pulling me? And so God brought us to a company called Solismar. It's a developer out of LA, right? And that's a group there, and they're very, very well connected. But they were liaison into all Latin America. And so we've since done JVs with them, and they're boots in the ground doing deals, handling the market. They're handling El Salvador grid. But we have so much deal flow. I mean, there's Bitcoin City, but there's a new development called
Health City.
Health City.
Imagine this. Medical tourism, you have to go usually to Thailand or something, fly however many hours. It's in Paradise. We call it Paradise Bay. In El Salvador, 3.5 hours from Florida, so 4 from Texas, 4.5 from California, where we're developing how many acres would you say? Because I can never do that.
I mean, it's this particular one's 412 manzanas, so instead of acres, I believe it's just right under 2 acres per. But the preliminary plans, 5,000 homes, 4 hotel pads, and then 2 hospitals. But it's health tourism, so health ecotourism or affordable health care. Yeah, and so we're working directly with the government on that one. That's one we just kicked off. We're working directly with the property owners.
We're working directly with U.S. insurance companies that will cover that. Fingers crossed. Don't quote me on that. But you can come down and get the work done that you need. The hard things, my wife just went through some, but someone I spoke to the other day is like, took them 8 months for breast cancer. They're in stage 2. By the time they got their surgery, it's stage 4. So things like that, where we can, change people's lives affordably using our insurance. This health city is going to be, just an incredible, sort of going to Thailand and being away where family can't even visit you. You go down there and get a procedure done.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Okay, so you're saying that this project in El Salvador
Yeah.
is going on already,
Yes.
all approved,
Yep.
the construction started.
So where it's at, so just some transparency, we work directly with the seller. The group that we're partnered with in El Salvador, the development group, they've had seller finance with him. And so they've been working with the government. And so we're at the point now, it's actually approved on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah, right. And so we have a creative deal. We're bringing the seller in for it. And so phase one is we're going to entitle the land, finish, we have concept stuff, we're going to fully come in. So we have, from the investment side, the ability to come in and be part of the entire development. It's estimated to be roughly about $1.3 billion to build up the entire... To build. And so it'll be broken up into 10 to 12 phases, right? So we're structuring that right now. So that's just one exciting opportunity that we have there. We have 17 total. But for the everyday person, right? So we're talking about investors. Like another one we have is vacation. So vacation grids, one of the initial grids that we kick off because people get fractional investment for vacation. Yeah. You got Picasa that's doing 8 owners, right? But with tokenization, it adds so much creativity and so much like what you can do, and you leverage blockchain. Okay. But one project in particular, we have 4 different sellers, right? Again, they're excited because we're helping them. We're all about helping the property owner. But 4 property owners, and it's a development in a bay, right? And phase one is 60 ocean view homes, and then 8 beachfront. And we're working with the government to get this or bring them in because it's in a bay where it's called water tube cabanas, ocean cabanas. And so in this case, it's very, very affordable. So if somebody wanted a vacation home in El Salvador, for as little as $300,000, you can own a home, oceanfront. Right? It's a little bit more beachfront. Right? It's a very, very strong vacation market. Now, AirDNA, if you're in San Salvador, just west, that's the main area. Then you have places like Surf City. It's like the surfing capital of the world. It's like 98% DNA spirit, or AirDNA. So it's a very, very strong vacation market. So it's a very good place to invest if you're into short-term rentals. But in this case, we're doing something creative, right? We're like, okay, what can we do with tokenization? Yeah. What if I only wanted to live in El Salvador for a month out of the year, right? Or be a digital nomad, right? We have an option which we're calling hybrid ownership, where we come and we can take one of those building mats, right? And we'll break it up into, call it $35,000 owner shares, right? Where they get 30-day stay rights. Say you wanted to go for 3 months out of the year, you buy 3 of those, right? You could live in it. Okay. And when you're ready to sell, like I'm sick of El Salvador, but at the marketplace, they could buy your owner.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so much in there.
Yeah. There's just huge opportunity there with, and we can't probably say the numbers right now. And what we're looking for the phase one investment for steady, but
we'll get in there. That's part
Justin at PropertyGRID, Luke at PropertyGRID, reach out to us on that. But that's, they're working directly with the government. They're fully dedicated to bringing in outside of the country investments into medical, tourism, we'll call it. And, phase one is not 1.3 billion. It's significant.
Yeah, it's to kick off the development.
Yes, to kick it off. And then you're part before the shovels go in the ground, which
you need
once the shovels go in the ground, so each level. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, and for those that may think of El Salvador, it used to be the most violent country in the world, right? So Bukele, the president's really cleaned it up, so it's now almost a modern day Singapore, and he's heavily incentivizing tech companies to come in. I mean, Google just put a tower there.
Yeah.
And we got in early on, and anyone getting in is early on, and they're putting in Airport of the Pacific there. Look it up. It's going to be like this huge international airport, which is 15 minutes from most of our properties, these projects. And there's make things so simple. Because, when you go to Costa Rica, you want to go to a certain place to fly in, then it's a 3-hour drive through car sickness.
There's so much out there that can stay here all day long talking about.
Yeah.
But let's do this. So tell the camera what you're looking for. What's your need and how they can find you.
Yeah, so my need is really to connect. So PropertyGRID.com, that's our site. Check it out. There's a waiting list, but make sure to reach out at Luke at PropertyGRID.com. Reach out to me. We can give you early access. But really what we're looking for is deal makers, deal takers, property owners. We want to do case studies. We want to show the world what's possible with blockchain and get those use cases in as we're getting ready to do the official launch in the U.S. And so we're here to just do deals and partner.
So mine's a little different. It's Justin at Property. I'm just kidding. We're both on the same falls anyway. So either one of us, reach out to us. I love that. This is great camera work because history of the world by maps. We are grids. This is perfect. Yes, segue there. But no, reach out to Luke or just go to PropertyGRID.com. It's extremely exciting what we're doing, and anyone interested in El Salvador, it's like right now. Right now is the time to get out. Everything you ask, we've got time to have conversations, but
Great.
El Salvador's right.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Justin. It's amazing having you guys. Success to your business.
Appreciate it.
Can't wait to be part of it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.